minutes later. This is Ankitatta, student ID 300057348, and I'm doing a video on telecommuting as one of the four topics for ITECH 6207 assignment. Telecommuting. So first thing which comes to mind, what is telecommuting? In retrospective, we can say that it is commuting of or working from a remote location other than your own office. It can be your that means other than your primary business location. It can be your home office, or commuting while working, while traveling, commuting by using Facey Smile machines, telephones, or any other remote capabilities such as FaceTime for iPhones or Skype video chatting. Telecommuting basically grants a lot of benefits for the corporates and individuals alike, which are not limited to the ones which I'm going to say, such as conserving energy, more like reducing your carbon footprint, a corporate's carbon footprint. That means the company is being environment friendly by using less energy, then improving workers' safety. See, if a person is commuting from other than the primary business location, let's say from home, so the chances of their health being affected by traveling, or by strenuous working positions in the company, or by working too much at stress at a time on the computer, can be reduced because telecommuting allows flexi time environment. Then it enhances family values. The more you spend your time at home or near your family, the corporate is sending a clear message that they are concerned about your family well issues, and they are concerned that how close you are to your family. It basically creates a work-life balance between a individual's working life and as well as private personal life. They can enjoy their time with the family other than being more stressed with the work they have in the working atmosphere environment in the corporates. To say more, see, these technologies, these facilities have existed for many years now, but it is only recently, let's say for the last decade or so, that corporate sectors have started using these technologies on a day-to-day basis. With the telecommuting being put into more of use, it has raised quite a few concerns for IT managers as well, specifically if you look into the IT industry, because it becomes very difficult for managers to monitor their employees if they're not physically present. In terms of challenges, there can be quite a few challenges for managers. Some of them are more or less mentioned. If you could go to the script as well. See, with the telecommuting, it becomes difficult for managers to physically observe their employees' performance. Of an employee working in a workplace atmosphere is more easy to observe, because then managers can easily make out what kind of strengths they have, when do they crack under pressure or not, and then they can build trust if they are there. But if the person is telecommuting, so it becomes difficult for the managers to basically monitor employees' productivity. It's difficult to build trust, whether if I tell my employee, for example, to do some particular work in this particular time frame, so is it possible that they may breach my trust, and they might extend their timelines, their deadlines, citing any XYZ excuses. Then it is also very difficult to be very practical. It's very difficult to manage people who are physically out of your sight. Sometimes you cannot control them. There's a famous saying. It was quoted in Wintech Technologies, that a person used to telecommute from their home, and there was a joke going around in the company that since the person's home is next to the golf course, so they would be telecommuting while playing golf. So these kind of jokes, these rumors, sometimes pose a challenge for IT managers. And of course, then if they're not there present and they cannot properly monitor their employees, it's very difficult for managers to give a constructive feedback on their work. Then social networking challenges can be a problem. because if the person is not present, there can be some the teamwork can be a problem, because the person who are not telecommuting may resent the ones who are telecommuting, and would probably not be able to create a team synergy because of the absence of informal interactive learning which can happen sometimes in the office workplace environment, over the water cooler or over during having lunch in the hallways by passing by through one's desk, which is quite a possibility. Uh, Also, in-place career developments are not possible for people who are telecommuting. So managers are at risk of losing their employees, because employees would see that their career development is not as growing as it should be. So sometimes absenteeism can be a problem. Then it is also difficult for managers to instill the company values into a person who's telecommuting, because the environment from which they are working is completely different to the person who would be working in that office atmosphere. Then of course, sometimes telecommuting is basically flexible hours of work. So if a team member needs somebody who's telecommuting from home, uh, availability of that person can be a issue sometimes. There are these general issues which an IT manager basically faces. In order to basically overcome these issues, managers are trying to telecommute their employees in rotation sometimes. For example, IBM has this policy of telecommuting that 3 days a group member telecommutes, the other 3 days the other ones commute. So that way they taste both telecommuting environment as well as office environment, which helps them to bond together more and be more helpful towards teamwork.